shots. Subscribe, stay woke, now let's get in the know. It's the Dennis Byron Show. 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 Dennis Byron Show. The Dennis Byron Show. Dennis Byron Show. The Dennis Byron Show. Dennis Byron Show. Welcome to the mic, it's the Dennis Byron Show. Breaking headlines, truth in every flow. From courtroom seats to exclusive shots. Journalism raw, yeah, Byron calls the shots. Subscribe, stay woke, now let's get in the know. It's the Dennis Byron Show. Welcome to the mic, it's the Dennis Byron Show. Breaking headlines, truth in every flow. From courtroom seats to exclusive shots. Journalism raw, yeah, Byron calls the shots. Subscribe, stay woke, now let's get in the know. It's the Dennis Byron Show. 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 Dennis Byron Show. The Dennis Byron Show. Dennis Byron Show. The Dennis Byron Show. Dennis Byron Show. Welcome to the mic, it's the Dennis Byron Show. Breaking headlines, truth in every flow. From courtroom seats to exclusive shots. Journalism raw, yeah, Byron calls the shots. Subscribe, stay woke, now let's get in the know. It's the Dennis.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you and welcome to another episode of the Dennis Byron Show. We have a very special guest, and we got to send something to our co-host. But before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dennis Byron Show. I'm your host, Dennis Byron, and today we are honored to sit down with a true icon in film, television, theater, and empowerment. His career spans nearly 60 years. He's worked with legends. He's shaped performers, and he continues to be one of the most respected voice in entertainment industry. You've seen him in classic like Poltergeist, one of my favorites, How Stella Got a Groove Back, Wag the Dog, Dynasty, and most recently in Beauty in Black. And we was just talking about that, and Divorce in the Black. And now he is part of a highly anticipated film, Aftershock, the Nicole P. Bell story. Richard Lawson is in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, before we bring him up, I want to make sure we all are on camera. And I just want you guys to just, this is going to be special. I'm so excited. Listen, let me tell you something. It was kind of hard to get him here today, ladies and gentlemen, but he is here. He is here, and we want to make sure he gets, listen, we need him give him that big screen time, and we need to bring up one more person. But before we bring her up, I want to make sure my makeup in here is good. Okay, here she go. There she go. V, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, very good. And it's about me. It's not about me. It's about Mr. Lawson today.
Sure is.
Hello. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so excited to be here with you. I have followed you forever. You and I are Facebook friends for like 10 plus years.
Oh my God.
I remember, I know this isn't part of the interview, but I got to say this. So I reached out to you years ago because you were doing your acting classes.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if you were still doing those.
Still doing them.
Okay. Well, I'm out here now in California, so I got to look it up. I got to do class.
Okay. All right.
So
well, in my class, it doesn't matter where you are in the world.
Oh, you don't virtually?
I do. It's a hybrid class. So we have butts in the seat, and then people come in virtually. So I have students in Dubai, in France, in Florida, in Atlanta, in New York, and then LA, all over the place, in Vegas. And so, it's a hybrid class. And so,
nice. Okay,
good. Yeah. Come check it out. Come visit. Be a guest.
Okay, I will. I love that. I've been for years. I was like, I want to be a part of his class. This was years ago. I'm from Ohio. So, I always knew I had to come to California. In my mind, I had to be in California to make this happen. So this is funny, though. I'm here and I could do it virtually. Isn't that something?
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. You can actually be in LA and still do it virtual.
Oh, and wow. Yeah.
Here's a little tidbit. I was one of the first people on Zoom back in 2005. And so I've been teaching my class from all over the world because I've
Oh,
always been working. And
yeah.
so from Australia, from Paris, from India, from Canada, from Hawaii, you name it, I have taught my class from all over because of the fact that I was on the front end of technology. I
Yeah.
believe that, what I teach is old school philosophy, but with 21st century technology.
Nice. Nice. Well,
Yeah.
you are timeless as an actor, and it's such a pleasure to have you here and to be able to talk to you. This is so crazy.
Thank you so much. Well, such a nice thing to say.
Well, Dennis Byron, there's a little something I wanted to say though, also about this gentleman. As someone who's watched this man transform these actors and elevate these performances and speak life into creatives for decades, I'm excited for today's conversation because this is a man who brings wisdom and discipline and purpose to every room he enters, from Broadway stages to Hollywood sets. Your impact is undeniable. We're talking
Wow.
empowerment and legacy and the powerful storytelling behind Aftershock as well. And so I want everybody to sit back, relax, and get ready for a master class. We're gonna have our master class right here, Dennis Byron.
Wow. Wow. Listen, I'm
And
gonna
yes,
do I'm gonna do my best.
yes, sir. And once again I appreciate you being here. And let's just get into some things. But before I start, V, text me the email address. First of all, what initially drew you to the project Aftershock, the Nicole P. Bell story, and why did you feel it was important to be a part of telling story about Sean Bell's, story with Nicole's perspective?
Well, three things actually. The most important thing was the fact that Sean Bell got killed on his wedding day, and it was a travesty of justice, and that in itself is, we have to tell these stories. That's part of what I call artivism. You know what I mean? It's activism through art. The second thing was that to have the opportunity of playing Reverend Al Sharpton, which is, a challenge of playing anybody in real life and they're still living, is a
Yeah.
challenge in and of itself. And so the opportunity to bring that voice to life, and then for my second time of being able to work with Manny Haley, who produced that show, who is, prolific in terms of his filmmaking. I mean, Manny, I think, made like 22 projects in 2 years. And so he's really trying to follow in the mode of Tyler Perry. So I have nothing but mad respect for that. And they did such a good job on this film that I've only seen the trailer, but I cannot wait to see it because I know it's good.
And,
Nice.
and I met you years ago, but I recently, the last movie I saw you on was Soulmates, and that was a good project as well. You told me you had something similar in the animated version. Let's talk about that.
Well, maybe about 5 years ago, I co-wrote an an animated movie called Soulmates.
Yeah.
S
Oh,
O Soulmates. It's about shoes, and it's this
oh,
really exciting story about these two shoes that were like twin brothers, but they couldn't have been more opposite in nature, and them dealing with the society and in a universe where there's an evil leader and they get separated. It's a really wonderful. One of them falls in love with a skating shoe. It's a very wonderful story that's still being done. Animation takes years to complete, and it's very expensive to make. So we'll see what happens when that comes to life.
nice.
In the film Aftershock, this film revisits a tragic chapter in American history. What emotional responsibility did you feel stepping into a project carrying so much real world weight?
Well, you know, the one thing over the years of me being in the business, one of the things that I learned is that art has a way of being more effective than just about any other thing. Art can change the course of something in a line, in a word, in a film, in a play. I was in a play called uh, what was the name of it? God, the name of it is escaping me now, but it was about DNA um, for saving people who were on death row.
Mhm.
And that play was so successful in its effect that 14 states changed their death penalty laws.
Really?
And so art can change the world when nothing else can. And so maybe by seeing this film, that this film will be able to go and reactivate justice, because you know the people, those officers who committed this, they got off. And maybe, you know, as an old man told me one time, uh, every goodbye ain't gone. So maybe art can reactivate the investigation, and they can take a second look at this.
Mhm. Now, how did you think that the creative team and the producers sort of shaped authenticity where these characters were concerned in Aftershock?
Well, that was very well. Nicole Bell was one of the she was the consultants besides being one of the producers. And so she was there, and she was able to add her voice to make sure that things felt like and looked like and sounded like what really went down.
Mhm.
Um, and you know, and there was a lot of, she had a help from a lot of other people who were around that time, and I had an opportunity to meet some of Sean's friends, and so there was a lot of oversight in terms of making sure that it was authentic.
Mhm.
And the director was bent, hell bent on that, you know,
Mm.
making sure that it was right in the same tone and zip code of what really went down.
Let me piggyback off of something you said earlier about playing Al Sharpton. So again, I'm sure that is a lot of pressure on some level to play someone who's still alive. Do you meet with them and talk to? I mean, we have enough footage out there of Reverend Al Sharpton, but did you have a conversation with them at all about this role before you
I
took it?
did. I had the pleasure of doing a Zoom call with uh, the Reverend,
Mhm.
and we talked a good bit about his life, about, you know, when he started. You know, he's been preaching since he was 4, and
Oh,
he became uh, anointed when he was 8 years old. So he's his life has been dedicated to the Lord and to civil rights and oppression. And so he's dedicated his life to this. And
Mhm.
so it was such a pleasure talking to him. And the greatest pleasure of all was the fact that he wrote me a note and saying that he was so happy at the portrayal, and that, you know, that it was a moment, one of the greatest moments of his life, to see him being portrayed. And so, I mean, it makes
You
me a
make him
little
look
emotional.
good too. Don't get it twisted. He's like, yeah, the perfect actor to play me. You know, you
Hey,
make him
look,
look real good.
hey, I can show you a picture, side by side picture of Al and myself.
Uh-huh.
It, it is striking. It is so striking. It was like, what? Oh my God. And so, and because I played Al in 2006, he was a little bit bigger. He wasn't as
What?
big as he wasn't as big as he was, but he was in his medium size thing. Now, you know, he must weigh 120 pounds.
Right.
But
He's so little.
yeah,
Hey, listen, I don't know if you can touch the Reverend's dance steps, you know, because we've seen him get down, you know, at the Essence Awards, at
yeah,
the
yeah.
festival.
Hey,
And
look, I ain't so bad myself now.
hey, well, actually, Actually, I saw you too with the X, as a matter of fact. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, that was one of the things we used to do is go down. We used to go down to the hood, and in one of those spots down there in L.A. is called the Cork, and then they changed it to I forgot what they changed it to, but I mean, you go into that spot, and you'll see cats who's still wearing that 1970 suit on,
What?
Not the big collar too.
the big collar and the long hanging down halfway in this, big old wide leg. It's like, yo, man,
Hilarious.
soaking wet. He's sweating because he ain't stopped dancing.
Now, a lot of the younger audiences that maybe, or people who will be younger in the audience, may not recall the Sean Bell story, may not know about it. What do you think that they'll take from it, or what impact do you hope that they take from it watching it?
I think once that they see the film, they will see the tragedy of that, the tragedy of his death, and particularly on his wedding day, when he was so happy and so committed and so in love with Nicole, and that he gets taken away from them. And then the tragedy of the justice system, or lack thereof, that that it is so skewed one way, and that people won't cross the blue line, and they won't tell the truth, and so it's tragedy on top of tragedy. And I don't care how old you are, you're going to be affected by those who have been affected by injustice.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. To your point, what role does art play in activism today, especially in stories involving real loss and injustice?
I think it's the only thing that can bring real truth to it immediately. You can go through this. You can go through Congress, House of Representatives. The wheels of that justice grind so slowly that it's all partisan decisions, and if anything gets done, it's years and years in the making, and it's mostly for show. And anything that has been done, you can see how quickly it can be undone. So what's being undone today was years and years and years and years of people pushing forward so that Roe versus Wade, the Voting Rights Act, all those things can be enacted. And you see all of those things being wiped away, and it's going to take 100 years in order to even begin to get anything back that represents justice, particularly for Black people. We're 400 years in. There's nothing new about this. You know what I mean? And at some point, we have to, it's an interesting thing. I directed a film called Black Terror, which was done by Richard Wesley at the Public Theater in 1971. And I was trying to put it out for its 50th anniversary. And it was about revolution. And it was a powerful, powerful film. But not so much the revolution of military revolution, like it was really more about, this is what will happen if we don't understand that the real revolution is economic, is social, political, spiritual revolution. We have to start thinking like we did when we were segregated. Because when we were segregated, we bought Black. Look, how
we were better off, honestly.
Look, today money stays in the Black community for 6 hours.
Exactly.
In Tulsa, before it was burned down, money stayed in that community for 2 years because it's circulated within the community.
Yeah.
You got your money, you went to the Black market, you went to the Black doctor, you went to the Black lawyer, you had a Black plumber come and fix your stuff because that's all you could do. And then when that went away, then our money started going in everybody else's community.
Yeah.
And so therefore,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
all I'm gonna finish it off by saying, which robbed us of any kind of power that we have. The Black
Mhm.
community generates $2 trillion a year. 95% of that goes to consumerism.
Yeah.
We
And
we
we
buy,
don't have any money, but we spend all the money we get.
we spend it in other communities. We spend it on Gucci, Poochie, Ducci, and all that, but we don't,
Mhm.
we
But
don't
not
spend.
Revolution.
Yeah. So, you know, but as I look today, I'm emboldened by sisters like Jasmine Crockett.
Mm,
Mhm.
okay.
I love Jasmine.
That
I love
sister
Jasmine.
has a head on her, and she is not to be bent. She will bend, but she won't break, and
Mhm.
she ain't bending that much.
And
You
I
know what I
want to
mean?
make sure she stays protected. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
But
for
she's
sure.
definitely our voice right now.
Yeah,
So to your point, uh, in the past couple of weeks, Stephen A. Smith had some choice words about Jasmine Crockett. When you see people that look like us going against people that look like us in fighting for a cause that's going to help the betterment of our people, how do you feel about that? Being a legend yourself.
well, the one thing I really learned is that there's never going to be one solid voice. There's not an ideology that we have that everybody's going to be on the same page. Look, I'm not upset when somebody has a different viewpoint than mine.
Mhm.
It is what it boils down to is, can we have a communication, and can we respect the positions that you know, where we are diametrically opposed? Can we have a communication and have a sense of respect
Mhm.
where, because we think differently does not make us uh, wrong? It doesn't make us demonized. It doesn't really make me your enemy. It
Mhm.
just makes me have a different opinion than you. I'm not afraid of Stephen A's opinion. I don't agree with a lot of them. You know what I mean? But he's entitled to having those opinions, because at the end of the day, when I look at the people who supported Donald Trump in terms of his running for office, and you think that certain things are going to go down a certain way because you believed him, and now you see what he's actually doing. You see
He's doing what he said he was gonna do. He's
he's
doing
doing he he's doing what he said he wouldn't do, or he didn't know
and
nothing
that
about.
too.
I don't know nothing about that. I didn't write
Project
that.
25. Yeah. Yeah.
And if you believe that, like, why pay attention to what happens with this Jeffrey Epstein thing. You know what I mean? Because that really tells you who he is.
Here's okay, not trying to like go too deep into this, but honestly, I at this point I don't even trust the Epstein files because it's taken too long to get them. For all I know, it's something's happening to them right now as we speak. Things are getting scrubbed, and I just feel like we know what's going on. We've already seen him break the law. Like, why aren't we taking action now? Like, I think he's done a
Yeah,
lot of impeachable things already. But
yeah.
I'm
I know
sorry.
Dennis is like, let's not talk politics. I'm sorry.
Well, what I want to say about that is that, you know we surprised that people will stick with him no matter what he does. No matter what he does, people will stick with him.
I don't
And
think
what that tells you is, why are we surprised? Because we've always known who those people are and what they're about. We just hoped for something different. We
yeah.
had laws that were protected us to a certain degree, at least gave us opportunity, you know what I mean, to a certain degree,
Yeah.
in spite of those people who sat back and were pissed off because there were these things put in place. But
Mhm.
the fact that 75 million people voted for him, I'm not surprised by that. And I'm not surprised that they stick with him like that. You
Really?
know, No, not at all, because the fact that this is where this country came from. Where do you think they went?
That's
They
true.
didn't die off. They had children,
True.
and those children grew up in the house hearing that.
True.
And now it's coming back to bear that the children of all those folks in Jim Crow are now resurrecting their parents and their grandparents. So I'm not surprised at that. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
To piggyback off what you said, recently Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is a congresswoman from Georgia, attempted to give him some pushback as it relates to questions about the files, the Epstein files. And then we do know that there's some controversy surrounding the death of Charlie Kirk and how that actually happened with Robinson. Do you think that he's losing footage with his base based on these files? And because I see a lot of young people pushing hard, against the MAGA base. Do you see that there may be a tide changing with this, based on these files?
I think it may be a little early to say that, you know what I mean? And it's kind of hard to read in terms of what he's actually losing. And one of the things that I think he's trying to insulate with is gaining control of the military. And so, basically, he doesn't care what kind of upraising is going to happen because he will surround himself with the military. And so, this country is starting to look like Nicaragua and other countries.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
And so it's like, and that's exactly what he wants.
I'm
So
scared. I'll be honest, I'm scared. And I don't want to live like that, but I'm a mother of a black son. And I'm very afraid.
don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Just be intentional. Look at what you need to do.
That part right
You know
there.
what I mean? You need to look at what you need to do so that you don't want to close your doors and curtains because it's just a matter of time before they're on your block.
Yeah.
You want to activate. What can you do as a journalist? You have a platform. You can speak to people. You can say, wake up. You can say, come on, we don't fold. Now is the time to activate more than ever. Now is the time for these movies like this to come out more than ever.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're part of the artivism part of it. You're one of the voices that people can hear. You're the person in Africa who's beating the drum. Beat your drum.
Yeah.
Beat your drum and educate your son. Don't put fear in him. You're a single mother?
Yeah.
You're a single mother?
Yes, I am. Well,
Okay.
I mean, look, he's grown. Let's be clear. He's 34 years old. I'm just saying, he's still my baby. Okay, he's still my baby. All right, and I'm still worried.
That nigga can take care of himself. That nigga can take care of himself.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Yes.
I know.
True. If the kid's scared, I'm scared.
You got a 34-year-old son?
Yes, I'm fine.
You got a baby face.
You're fine as cat's hair.
Well, thank you. Good genes. Good genes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now I do have a question. So let's change the subject just a little bit. Like, people know you from a lot of things. You've been in movies, you've been in shows. What things stand out the most that people remember you from? And let me say this. Mine, it's really mine is really Stella, of course. Okay. I'm a huge fan of Beauty in Black right now, for sure. I've seen everything in between that you've done. But one thing you weren't in that I always think of you when I see it, and I'm sure you have to have people saying something about Brown Sugar. When the scene where Tay Diggs finds Nicole, his wife, at the table, and she's having an affair, and the guy says, "Hi, I'm Richard Lawson," and I'm like, Richard Lawson.
See, listen, I swear to God, I don't know how I got that reputation. And that they were, because whoever wrote that, I found to find out who the writer was. Because see, the writer was trying to. They started some shit. They look.
I love that.
Somebody told me that they said, "Hey man, do you know that they got your name in a porno?" A porno, that there was an actor in a porno that was doing something, and he was an actor, and his name was Richard Lawson. His career didn't go so well, so now he was working as a as a porn star. So
Oh my
like,
Lord.
I wish they would leave my name alone.
But do people say anything to you about the brown sugar thing? Do they mention it?
I bring it up from time to time.
I love every time I hear it. I promise you, it's one of my favorite movies. I'm like, well, he says Richard Lawson. I always think of you. But so who do people come to you and say they remember you best from?
You know, it's so interesting. People will come up to me and say, "I loved you in Welcome Back, Kotter."
Oh my Lord, Jesus!
Because I didn't. No less than 5,000 times, people have confused me with Lawrence Hilton Jacobs.
I get it. I can get it.
And but in both ways, look, my own. So
Black people do this.
Definitely. So I have, on my Substack channel, I have like a little podcast, and I have like dinner, like Sunday dinners, and Lawrence came over, and we were talking about men's health, and we were talking about prostate health and cancer and stuff. So he shows up at 6 o'clock, and I have a friend of mine that's cooking a plant-based meal, because I'm now eating plant-based. So he was cooking plant-based meal, right? And so as I was getting it together, my alarm system will announce faces that it will remember, or it will announce faces that it doesn't recognize. So it was like ding dong, and it says Richard Lawson is at the front door.
Shut up.
I said, what?
Shut up.
My own security system thought I was Lawrence Hilton Jacobs. Come on now.
Wow, that's crazy.
Somebody's about to lose their child.
They're like, we loved you in the Jacksons. We loved you playing
Joe Jackson. But I did play Joe Jackson in a different movie.
You did?
Yes.
Get out of here.
Searching for Neverland. I played Joe Jackson. We both played Joe Jackson.
Yes.
Wow.
But you were asking me, here's one thing that I think is really incredible. Beauty in Black was #1 in the world across all streaming platforms.
Wow.
It was #1. 1.3 billion people looked at it in 1 week.
Wow.
So more people have seen me in Beauty in Black than all the other things that I've ever done put together.
Wow. I love you in Beauty in Black. You're a nice little villain. I'm digging it. Like, there's a bunch of villains in this storyline. But anyway, I know we're not here to talk. I love that.
It's the only show that you will see where there are no protagonists. They're all antagonists.
Yes.
They're all villains. Everybody's a villain.
Exactly.
I'm the only character that acted out of love.
That's true for the wife.
They killed my wife. I acted out of love, and I'm still motivated by that.
Even though you cheated on that wife, I picked that up. You done cheated on her with your brother's wife. Now,
well, listen, I didn't take it outside the family, so what
Lord have mercy. Oh God.
Mr. Lawson, looking back at nearly six decades in the industry, which role or moment had the greatest impact on you personally?
Well, that's an interesting question. First of all, I never take a show unless I love it. So somebody says, "What's your favorite character?" Um, all of
Oh,
them.
yeah.
I love all of them. The one that does stand out for me was my first starring role where I was number one on the call sheet, and that was it's called Black Fist, Fist. You can get it, and that was my first starring role. That was that man. That was huge, and it
Wow.
was like it was in 1974, and so one of the commitments that I made is I didn't want to go up for the roles that I was going up for because I saw myself as the leading man. I saw myself as number one on the call sheet. And my whole thrust and purpose was to be number one on the call sheet. And that happened just 3 years later. So that was real important to me. Um, there was a play that I did where 14 people got carried out on stretchers from a heart attack or from passing out because I killed two people in the play, and it was so realistic that people, all men passed out. And it was
What?
it was called Streamers, and it was a play about potentially going to Vietnam, which I actually did go to Vietnam,
Yeah.
um, but that play was so powerful, so powerful. Steven Spielberg saw me, and he was married to Amy Irving at the time. And Amy said, "See, Steven, he's not like that character." And I turned around, and I guess my personality was different than what he expected. He says, "Man," he said, "I did not want to meet you because I just thought there's no way that you were so good. There was no way that you couldn't be like this character." He said, "That
Wow.
was the most frightening thing I've ever seen."
Wow.
And then like 5 or 6 years later, I worked with him in Poltergeist. But
Nice.
but those were powerful, powerful roles.
Yeah.
Um, and there are other roles that I had a great time on. How Stella Got a Groove Back. I had a great time working on Poltergeist. You know, I'm having a great time working on in Tyler Perry's world, even though it's unlike anything else you've ever worked with because he has re-engineered the whole way it's shot, and it's shot
Yeah.
so
So
fast and so efficient.
you shoot a lot for Beauty and Black. You shoot, I'm guessing, because I know Charles Malik Whitfield. I love him
Oh
to.
yeah, my boy.
Yes,
Yeah,
Charles Malik is awesome. And I talked to him when he was on the other Tyler Perry show. I can't think of the name of
yeah,
it.
I can't think of it either.
But when he was on it, he would talk about how they would shoot like 100 episodes, it felt like, I guess, and then Tyler just releases so many, right, at a time.
Yeah.
Like you guys have probably, I don't know if it's changed, but did you shoot all, like, both seasons at one time?
No, we
Or
shot the first season had 16 episodes, the second season has 16 episodes.
Mhm.
And the third season we're shooting 8 episodes, and then I think we come back and shoot another 8.
Okay.
But we shoot them up until now all at once, and then they release them. They release 8 in October, and then 8 in March or February or March, and that has proven to be very effective. That's me. That
Oh,
that
shoot. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You have another interview.
No, my phone is telling me drink water.
Oh,
Um, I'm on a water fast, and so
Okay.
therefore
are
I
you?
gotta every 2 hours drink water. Yeah, I'm
Boy,
on my ninth day.
go for it.
Oh,
Yeah,
how many days are you doing this?
I don't know now. I was gonna do. I aimed for 7, and I'm cruising. So
Okay.
it's like, but
Okay.
we
Sorry.
shoot 100 pages a day. Now I don't know if you let put it like this: if this show 16 episodes, if it were Grey's Anatomy, takes them 6 months to shoot.
Mm.
16
Yeah.
episodes took us 9 days to shoot.
Wow.
That's how fast we shot.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Do you like working like that? Do you think it's more efficient for the actor?
I think it's more efficient for the storytelling that he wants to do. And I think the actors have to step up and step into it, and just throw down. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
like it's sort of like this is a kind of a weird analogy, but it's sort of like, it's sort of like you're gonna get into a fight, so you're gonna back up and take your coat off, and you're gonna dance around and do some cute stuff, punch and then dance around, and it's a slow roll.
Yeah.
If this is a fight in Tyler Perry's world, you don't take shit off. You start you start you start throwing hands. It's like what you see on some of those shows where they snatching wigs off, and it's a rumble. It's a rumble in the jungle, Jack. You better get in. You better get yours in, because you ain't got no other. You don't have a second
It's
chance.
not. Let me ask you a question. This question is from one of our viewers from D. He says, asked if he felt the weight of being a leading man. Did you feel the weight of being a leading man? Was there pressure that once you realized you was a leading man in the movie, did you feel the weight of that? Or how did you take it? Did you take it in stride
Um,
or
I only felt back when I first got into business, only because I wasn't trained and I didn't have enough experience. That was a little weighty. It was like, oh my God, man, what am I going to do? Will I be able to handle it? So I had a little anxiety about that. But since then, you know, acting and this business is standing up on a stage, butt naked, and turning around real slow. And I'm made for that.
All
I,
right.
I'm made for that. You know what I mean? Look, it's like not. I don't want to talk about that, but I'm just giving you like the example of what I'm made for. Like, I got a divorce 2 years ago, and
really?
uh, if y'all
What? Didn't hear that. What? No.
and if y'all have been looking at the press because of the largesse of it, you talk about a stage and where people it's sort of like you're in a fishbowl
Scrutinizing.
and the world is like looking at you like that. It was like, yo, I'm made for this. Come on with it.
Mm.
Because the fact that, it all it did was made me stronger and understand process, pivot, and proceed, and understanding that, oh, I get you, God. This is you are pointing me where I need to be. And this is what I need to do. So this is a gift. And so you have to learn how to process, pivot, and proceed. And knowing that if you on that platform, it's gonna be like that. And
Yeah.
you better get used to it, and you better be able to deal with the stares. And so you welcome it, and you
Yeah.
find the warmth of it, and you
Yeah.
allow people to judge you, and you allow some great relationships to become conditional. It's all good. Y'all do what you got to do, because I'm gonna do what I got to do.
All
And
right.
so you know what I mean. It's like I thank God for putting me in a platform that I'm comfortable with being naked on the stage.
Did
See,
you?
So
that's why you got mixed up with that porno guy. See what you said? You better stop talking like that. They're gonna confuse you again.
hey, you know
And
what?
listen, and
Talking about
listen.
It's
being
all,
butt naked on the stage.
hey,
Stop it.
look. And if I had to get butt naked in the porno, I'm tearing it up.
Oh my God. You play every role well, right?
I'm
You
a
just put
play.
your
And
all in
look,
everything.
I'm a good actor, baby.
So, Eleanor, this is going to get clipped out.
Probably. Yeah. Hello.
Let-
I think I want to ask you about your actor studio.
Yeah.
Like, what is the first thing you look for in a new student? Do you accept everybody who wants to sign up, or what's the process to even participate?
The first thing I look for is attitude. You have to have passion. You have to have Passion fuels purpose.
Mm.
I don't
Amen.
care how good you are. If you come into my studio and you got an attitude and you're not open to learning,
Mhm.
then I'm not the right place for you, because I can teach anybody how to act.
Okay.
But you say, well, wait a minute. Well, what I'm not going to try to teach everybody how to do Hamlet. Hamlet ain't for everybody.
Right.
But
Right.
I can take you and I look at where your strengths are. You understand about how to interview people, you have a viewpoint, you know how to greet people, you know how to handle the public, you understand marketing, you understand there's a world that you understand. If we start where you are and
Mhm.
build strength where strength exists, you operate out from there. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
not going to ask Laurence Olivier to play High Noon, and I'm not going to ask John Wayne to play Hamlet. Those are two completely different worlds that they ain't, that's not what they do. But
Right.
what do you do? So I take people, and I don't care where they are, whether you are whether you are challenged, whether you are challenged. Like, for instance, I hate the word handicap. Words have power. The
Right.
word handicap means that that's where you're stuck. You
Mhm.
ain't going nowhere, so accept that you can't. I've had people who had conditions, and I took the word handicap away from them, and I let them look at the possibilities of considering themselves challenged,
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
it's possible. You look at words like terminal. What's the first thing you think about?
Death.
Cancer.
Mhm. Yeah.
Cancer.
Yeah.
Like, that's your ass. You're dead.
Yeah.
Accept it. But
Mhm.
wait a minute. Those the archaic definitions of terminal is bus terminal, telephone
Do it.
terminal.
Right.
So things come in and
And
they go out. So if
yeah.
I'm looking at the telephone terminal concept of cancer, then I'm not buying into and I'm not operating out of scarcity. So therefore, I operate with people, teach people to look at possibilities. So my next look is, why are you doing this? Is
Mhm.
this a desire, or is this something you can't live without? If it's something you can't live without, I can teach you, because you're open and you're forward sitting and you're a sponge and you want to know more. So, and that's connected to your purpose. If you have a purpose, you have a North Star, and that will never go out, because then you have GPS.
Yep.
GPS is stuff is going to come. Roads are going to get washed out. Accidents are going to happen. Floods happen. Fires happen.
You know,
It and all you do is reroute. You reroute and
Mhm.
you reroute, but the destination never changes. You're still headed towards whatever that dream is.
Is this your class ongoing, or is it start certain times, or how does that work too? I'm sorry, Dennis. That was my last question for around this.
Ongoing.
Ongoing. Okay. So you can just
Ongoing.
join it, and if accepted into the class, you can just jump right in with
It,
other
yeah,
students.
you can jump right in, and then, we, of course, you read my books. You start out by reading my book, listening to my audio book, so that you can learn what it is I'm teaching, and you can learn my language.
Nice.
Look, in your recording world, you have a language.
right.
When you talk to the engineer, you have a specific language. When you all talk to each other about, the language is very specific. So in acting, and the language is different from one teacher to another. There's general things, but
Mhm.
I have a very specific language that you need to understand, and a philosophy and a concept. So
Okay.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
I know I have a few questions I want to make sure we get answered. How did originating the character Lucas Barnes on All My Children help shape your career?
Well, first of all, Lucas Barnes um, was it. So my whole thing. I fired my first agent because she suggested that I do a soap opera.
Mm.
And then when there was a strike in 1991, nobody was working, and it was like nobody, you know, it was like it was economics. You know, the idea, the possibility of all my children sent out a thing and said, "Hey, would he be interested? We'll fly him in New York and we'll interview him. He don't have to read or nothing." So I flew to New York and I met with them, and I flew back home, and then they wanted me. So I saw it as an opportunity for me to go into a soap opera for 2 years, because it's a huge audience and
Yeah.
it's immediate. The
Yeah.
first day after I worked on All My Children, in the first day it aired, I left my apartment to go to D'Agostino's grocery store, and man, people knew I was in there and they came over. It was immediate, right? People
Wow.
know you. And
Yeah.
so it was like I wanted to
You're in
bring
their
everyone.
house. You
Yeah,
come into their home.
you're part of their family.
Yeah.
Their mothers and their grandparents been looking at you and everybody before you for years, because people inherit them stories. They call them the stories.
Yeah, the stories. The stories.
Yeah, and
Yep.
people
Yep.
inherit them, right?
Yep.
And what you inherit is the story and the network. So everything on ABC you looking at, you know what I mean? And
And
so
if I'm correct, it was on Columbus Circle on Broadway. D'Agostino's was not too far.
it was 160th Street, right at Columbus Circle,
Hmm.
right there. And I lived on 66th and 10th Street. So I was 6 blocks. I just could walk to work. And
Wow.
so, you
It
know,
was 10th Street or West End? 10th Street, right?
it was 10th Street, but it was the last building on the west side
Okay. Okay.
on 60th Street
Mm.
and 10th, 11th Avenue, but it was the last building on 60th Street.
What are some of the misconceptions that new actors have about Hollywood and this process of making it big?
They want to short circuit everything. They want to jump the line. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to work on their voice. They don't want to work on movement. And so they learn. They're looking for, you know, people come to Hollywood and said, "I'm looking for an agent," and it's like, why? Because you're not ready for an agent. What's an agent gonna sell? Persona, your
Gotcha.
personality. Well, you know, you don't have a skill set yet.
Mm.
You know, what if you got lucky and you got based upon your personality and they hired you for that and it's a comedy or something, good on you. But then at some point, you know, when other people start asking you to do other things and you don't have that skill set to
Right.
create characters and stuff, what
Right.
you gonna do?
Right.
What you gonna do? And so therefore, learn the craft. Take the time to learn the craft, because you see people think these short, you know, we live in a world where it's like remote control. It's like little quickies. People are into quickies. You know, for the life of me, I don't understand how these young people meet and they get engaged so quickly. It's like, wait.
Y'all don't even know each other.
Y'all
What
don't even know. After you
You
leave,
don't know this nigga.
after you get to the door on your way out, and you say that was good. What's your name?
Right. What your name is?
What's your name? What's your name is? Right. So it's like you got to learn the trade. You got to take the time to learn the trade. Why? So that you can run the marathon.
Right.
Me and Denzel and Sam and Glenn Turman and Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, you know, and LaTanya Richardson, and you know, all these folks. We've been in this business 50 some years. We understand the marathon. We understand how to ride the roller coaster. We understand that, you know, that as Lou Gossett told me, you're gonna get discovered 15 times.
Mm-hmm.
And he ain't never lied. It's gonna be dry times. And if you waiting for somebody to call you to get a job, as opposed to you doing one of your hyphenates, you know, look, I've got so many things going on. When somebody calls and says, "Hey, I want you to do this," I have to like put the brakes on and stop and say, well, wait a minute. let me see how I'm gonna work this in because I got
Mhm.
these other things going on. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
You have to be able to, in order to survive the
Mhm.
long haul,
Mhm.
you got to have the skill set in order to stay relevant. I'm not 60, I'm not 56 years in this business and still relevant for no reason.
Mm.
My
That's
ear,
right. That's
my
right.
ear has been to the ground the whole time.
Mhm.
I am I am currently taking a class in AI right now. Why? So that I can be in front of it and so I can use it to my advantage, not to take jobs away from anybody, you know, but so that when that happens for me, because it's going to happen, you know, where the job thing will come into play, but I'm not the victim of it because I'm able to create my own destiny
Right.
because I'm in front of it and I understand it and I know the safeguards of it. I've always been in front, not
Right.
behind the curve. And
Right.
so, and that takes time and takes patience.
It's funny you say that. We might be taking the same class. Tony Roberts.
Tony Roberts is doing AI.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes,
baby.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm gonna
He's
look for your
teaching the AI class. Okay.
Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
yeah.
We can't tell them too much about it. They got to sign up. They
No,
missed it.
no.
I can't sign up for everything. I got to sign up for Mr. Lawson's class. I can't do it all.
You can sign up for my class, and I'm gonna tell you that you got to get into an AI class too.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
just so you can work more efficiently.
and
So
get some
I know what you was doing this morning. I know what you was doing this morning because I was doing the same thing.
getting some hours back, sir. We getting some hours back.
Getting some hours back. Getting some hours back. Look, and interestingly enough, the conversation that I had with my team just before this call was talking about those things that I learned
Mm.
about myself
Mm.
in terms of I got so many great things going on, but I hadn't cracked the code yet in terms of how to get those market and create those things and have my Substack channel be able to create this content on Substack and then it takes them and breaks them down for IG, for TikTok, for Threads, for YouTube, and that it puts the right piece from the Substack up there in the right format so that in these little pieces so that I could market to all of them and not be trying to figure it out.
It
You
not
better
only right. It not only allows you to think from different side of your brain, but it makes you much more efficient. So
much
much.
more efficient, much more efficient. I'm telling you. And that what I learned from that was the conversation I had with them. And what we found by asking the next question was mind blowing. It was like, here's a key. Oh, this is a key. Because I'm trying to convert free subscribers to paying subscribers.
Right.
Yep.
And I found a key thing that I was missing because my content is amazing. I think my content is amazing. I would want to come as a subscriber because I'm talking about some cool things. I'm writing about some cool things. I'm sharing some cool things. I'm sharing some tried and true things. And it has some humor to it and stuff. And it's like, but I'm doing too much. I'm doing too much. I'm operating in other areas that is, when I look at the data, it's like not a lot of people, the numbers are, some people are interested, but that's not my brand. Go where my strengths are. And my strengths is my IP and my intellectual, all the stuff that I've learned in 64 years.
Right.
I know some shit. Excuse me if I'm cussing.
No, it's okay.
I-
We're here, sir. We're here. We're here.
Good. So I know some fucking shit then. I know stuff. I know stuff. and I share stuff that's valuable stuff because I've been collecting stuff. I've recorded every class I've ever taught. So I have all of that data. And any subject I have like 20, 30 different tapes talking about that, you know, and all of that's going in my memoir, and a lot of that went in my book. But it's like I got stuff in the cupboard, you know, that people can use, valuable stuff. I just got to learn what's the key. It's a keyhole. I got to get that right click, click, that the thing to unlock the door so that people can come in. And when they come into Substack, I saw Ava DuVernay started in March for free. She was giving free content. And then in May, she put it behind the paywall, so they pay $7 a month. She has like
Still a bargain.
She's still a bargain. She has like 37,000 followers. $7 a month. Okay, and she ain't stopping there. So when you're looking at 100,000, 200, 300,000 followers times, yeah.
And you can do tiers. Don't forget, you can do tiers.
You got tiers. You got tiers. Yeah. And I'm just talking about the basic.
The base level. Yeah.
I'm talking about the yearly or the founders group. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
You talk, and I try to impart this to the young people that I meet, you know, because I've been in photography in media for 30 plus years. Tell people how important it is to build solid IP, solid content, something that can last beyond your life.
It's called show what?
Business.
Business.
It's a business.
It's business. If you don't know how to monetize, you working for the man. That little money you making is going to you got paid for the film, and you chip. The people who are successful are the people who know how to take that brand. Look at George Clooney. Look at Snoop Dogg. Look at Taraji now. She got all kind of stuff out there. Beyonce is she's the expert at selling. She's an expert at selling. She does a show. She does the Super Bowl. And the day of the Super Bowl, she launches her album. She launches a book. She launches the film that she made. She launches some other stuff. You understand? So that she has all these arrows pointing. It's called the event strategies, right? So you get these event strategies, and you have one thing pointing to the other. So you take advantage of the marketplaces of all of them, and they're like spokes on a wheel. And so, you know, whichever capacities and whichever buckets you have developed this skill. And for me, I'm enhancing my writing thing because I have all these years of knowledge, and then the life experience before that. You know, I got stories, and I invented stuff. My IP, you know, stuff that I invented and copyrighted, I can put those into apps, and I'm learning how to do that now in terms of having, you know, my thought partner, if you will, say, go create this app, go create the contract.
Your clone is helping you do a lot of this stuff.
Helping me do a lot of that stuff. And so therefore it's about show business. The other half of my current book, which is the artist roadmap, navigating your career through show business. The second part of the book will be business. And so then I'm talking about how you handle the business of the business. And there's a whole, even before you dealing with your IP and before you're dealing with the things that you create, it's in terms of how do you deal with the business of expanding your knowledge and the people who know you, and creating your numbers, because people are hiring people that have followers,
Yeah, that's
because
what they're hiring them for. Yeah,
yeah,
that's the
they,
thing. Yeah,
that's box office. That's box office. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
butts and seats. Yeah.
Butts in seats.
Let me say this: you are so timeless, and I think that that's why, because you understand that things change and you evolve with it. I'm also a fan of your daughters, Bianca. I love her. She did her thing in Queen Sugar for sure.
She did.
I just wondered, do you talk to her? Like, what's her experience? Well, obviously, you talk to her, but what's her experience in the business versus when you were coming up through the business? Do you guys have similar experiences, or is hers different because of the times?
Well, she's 46 now, and
Get
she's
out of
been,
here.
yeah, she still looks like she's 17, but she
Gorgeous.
played 17-year-olds for 17 years, but
That's all right.
even at her young age, when she goes on a set, she's older than everybody else, just about, in terms of her years in the business.
Mhm.
Um, I've never, I don't get engaged in her career things unless she asks me to.
Okay.
And so she'll call me and she'll talk to me, and I'll give her advice about certain things. And but she has her own mind, and she handles her people and her team as well as anybody. She don't mess around,
Mhm.
and she's a pretty savvy businesswoman. Now I'm trying to get her to be more engaged in like directing and
Oh, good.
doing that side of things, but
Yeah.
so we do talk, but I you know because I'm a teacher, she's never been in my class.
I was gonna ask that. So
No,
but I get it. I get it. She
she
wants
tried, she
more.
came to class. She was in 3 classes before she said, "No, I can't do
I can't
that."
do this with you, Dad. I
Yeah,
can't.
look,
I get it. I get it. Yeah.
it was like, yeah, I remember when she was young, she had an audition with Robert De Niro, and I forgot the movie, Bronx Tales, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
And
love that movie. That's
she was
based on his life loosely, I understand.
yeah, and there was this young girl that was in it, and she auditioned, and they loved her, but she was a little young. But in order to rehearse, we were in New York, and I didn't know any kids in New York, and she had to do this like romantic scene.
I remember that scene.
What's that like?
I was so goddamn nervous,
I
man.
know.
And it wasn't nothing but talking, and it was like we didn't have to kiss or nothing like that, but it was a moment where it's flirtation, and it was like it was like I swear to God, because she kept saying, "Dad, come on, come on, this is serious." I said, "I know, baby, I know. I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm trying. I swear to God. Okay, 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 okay. Ready? You ready? You ready?"
She flipped the script. Get serious, Dad.
Flip the script. She flipped the script.
How
She
does
was
your approach as a stage director differ from being an actor? Like, what do you see I mean, I would think that an actor who becomes a director is going to be the best at it, but maybe that's just my ignorance. I would
well.
think you'd be the best. You understand the actor's experience.
I That's part of it. An actor's experience. I might be able to help an actor get to particular emotion,
Hmm.
or unlock something,
Hmm.
or you know, like clear out the filter a little bit, so that they can get to that emotion and that they won't be afraid of it. You know what I mean? Or the nuance of relationship, or sometimes, that you can go the other way. Like for instance, anger has 360 degrees to anger. You know what I mean? Um, you can be just straight, you know, uh, over the top and yelling and screaming, or you can almost be inaudible and quiet. You can be ironic. You can find humor in it. You can be sarcastic about it. You can go a lot of ways. It has a lot of colors.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's in terms of trying to help somebody find the other colors. So as an actor, and then as a teacher as well, I have that advantage. But if I'm directing, the directing emotion is just part of the storytelling. The other part of the storytelling is where the camera is, how the camera moves, how the choreography and blocking in the scene goes, the things that you shoot, you know, as B-roll, and the metaphors that you use, the setup of, like, you know, uh, if you're shooting a shot and a character is in his life is small and he's trying to find his way, and you shoot him coming outside his building, and the building is symmetrical with the windows and stuff, and it's a big square building, and
Mm-hmm.
your cameras are way across the street, and so he seems real small against this large backdrop, which metaphorically is saying that, you know, he's little, he's his spirit is not big. You know, the way you shoot, whether
Wow.
you whether you leave whether you leave dead space, and if I'm looking, like for instance, uh I'm looking I'm looking that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether my character is in this part of the frame, and I'm looking there, and that dead space says something, or whether I'm over here and there's no dead space, so it's all in your face. Those
Mm-hmm.
those things are cinematic storytelling. So there's an emotional dynamic, and then there is a visual dynamic, and then there is a musical dynamic, and then there is a sound dynamic. I'll give you an example of sound dynamic. So uh, actors in the bathroom, and he's trying to make a decision about a relationship, and he's struggling, and he's it's a monologue, and he's talking to himself, and he's on the toilet. He's not using the toilet. He's just sitting on the toilet, and he cracks the door open, and you can see the girl in the kitchen right through the cracked door, and he says, "God, I don't know if I can take this. I don't know if I can take it. I should leave." In the background, we hear the faucet going drip, drip, drip. And it's like a time machine that's basically saying you are running out of time. It's like a Big Ben clock.
Mm-hmm.
That sound dynamic is so important to his decision making, because then we get in tune with the time, and we increase, and in the sound thing, you increase the sound of it. So as it goes, the sound gets louder and louder and louder, and by the time the scene ends, that last
Drop.
drip reverberates, and you know it's over. See,
Mm.
that's filmmaking. That's all filmmaking.
That's a lot to think about. Never thought.
Yeah,
That's a
it's more,
lot.
it's more than it's
Who
definitely,
knew?
it's definitely more than acting.
It's-
So I worked with Manny on True to the Game,
yeah,
and
yeah,
yeah, so we had this young actor. People knew him as Prison Bay. Never
yeah,
acted before. Jeremy Meeks, and I'm sure you met him at the. You met him probably over. I don't know if you met him or not, but
probably.
he had no acting chops at all. This was his first role. I remember us being on the set and even showing him how to hold a gun. You got
Mm,
to remember, he just came out, you know, of prison. So
hmm.
the way you hold a gun in a movie scene may not be the necessary way you hold a gun in real life,
Right,
because you're trying to project a certain look. So
right.
I sat there and watched him come into this whole world. It was like This guy has no experience, and he's 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 learning really quickly. Have you had any experience in your career of working with a new actor and seeing them catch on really quickly? Besides your daughter,
Uh, well, if it's something that I'm casting, uh, then I'm gonna pick that up in the casting, and I'm gonna have him train so that he doesn't have that. You know, in the reason that give you an example, it's like, you know, you look at a movie and you'll see like suitcases, people picking up a suitcase, and they're walking out the door with the suitcase. Untrained actors will carry that suitcase out, and you'll see that suitcase move, and you know not a damn thing is in that suitcase. Whereas a trained actor is going to put some weight in that suitcase, so that when they pick it up, they
Just
gotta pick it
flying
up.
up.
It's not like going whoop and you're walking out, and that puts the audience attention on something else. Or just like, you know, people who smoke and they say, you know, you know, they don't smoke.
right?
They don't smoke. Even the way that they just hold a cigarette in their hand, the way they put a cigarette in their mouth. I played pool with an old man, Mr. Jordan. He would never shake the ashes off, but they would never fall. And he put it, and he tucked his head just slightly to the side, so that the smoke would go up. It wouldn't go in his eye. He would cock it to the side, and the smoke would go up the side of his face like that, because the cigarette is to the side. And he would shoot pool like that. It would never drop, right? So that's from experience, right?
He's a
And
professional.
he's professional. And that's where your film can get people caught up in sidebar stuff that takes them out. And so therefore it's important to teach people, and it's in casting. You got to cast people in a way where you train them up, the way that they walk, the way that they sit, if they're going to sit on a horse, if they're the way that they hold the reins, you know, the way they walk, if they cowboys, you know, the way that they look if they just got out of jail. I mean, yes, and I have worked with actors. Speaking of Stephen A. Smith,
Oh Lord.
his cousin is named Junie Smith, and he's a filmmaker. And when Junie first came out to California, Junie will tell you that he was scared shitless because he'd never been on a set before. And I took him aside and I just schooled him and told him, you know, just to relax. And what you do here is this, what you do there is that, you know, and helped him so that it took the fear away so that he can feel present in the scene. So, yeah, I work with a lot of young people, especially if I'm in a film and they get cast and they don't know what they're doing. But if I'm casting the film, then I'm going to make sure, if I'm casting this unknown actor, that I have a very clear reason why I'm casting him. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, if I'm doing a scene and it's Brooklyn, and I'm gonna cast an actor who's from Idaho to play a guy from Brooklyn, no. So I may, especially if it's like a one-day thing, I'm gonna get one of the locals who know how to talk with an attitude, walk with an attitude, you know how to enter a bodega, and do his thing, you know what I mean? Know how to order some here, California, at the deli. Can I have do you have avocado? Where New Yorkers, let me have a ham and cheese on rye and a Coke and some potato chips. It's like bam, 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 bam. You know what I mean? So it's these little details that make a difference in terms of authenticity of your film.
Absolutely. This is a great interview, and I'm gonna let you V ask the last question.
What legacy do you ultimately want to leave in the industry and the communities that you've impacted? What's your legacy?
that I kept the ladder down so that people can climb up, and
Nice.
that I've helped people. My whole thing, the reason I'm doing this is not to be a movie star. I'm doing this so that I have a large enough platform to help people achieve their dreams. This is why God put me on this planet. I'm just fulfilling my assignment. I'm on assignment. I've been doing this for 56 years, and I've been on vacation for 56 years. And so therefore, and it's about helping others. The stories that come to me in terms of like the girl that says, Mr. Lawson, I've been waiting 10 years to give you this. And it's like $10. And it's like, what's that for, baby? Because back, I was working with all my children at the time on 60th, right there, Columbus Circle. Girl came up to me and said, sir, do you have some money so I can get some food, something to eat? And I looked at her and I said, well, let me ask you one question. Are you high? Are you on drugs? And she says, well, to be honest, yes. I said, well, I'm not going to give you money to buy drugs, but I'll take you to that coffee shop and I will have lunch with you and I will feed you. And we went to that coffee shop and she had a hamburger and some fries and a Coke. And I had mine and we talked. And I said, well, if I can just leave you with one thing, I'm going to give you this number. It's to Alcoholics Anonymous, which there's also Cocaine's Anonymous. This is the main number. Go and see if you can get some help. She went and got help, and now she's a junior publicist. I want to continue to do shit like that. And I have many, many stories like that. Many stories like that. That's what I do this for. You understand me? So the legacy is he helped me to become a better person or helped me to fulfill my dreams.
Wow, that just kind of got me a little emotional. I love that. I think that that's what everybody wants to feel, that they had purpose, that they fulfilled the assignment given to them. And I think sometimes we're just searching for the purpose, but once you know it and you can fulfill it, there's nothing like it.
Hey, I'll tell you real quickly how my purpose came to me. So it was the very first thing I did. It was a musical called Golden Boy, and it was the last song. And the last song was called I Ain't Bowing Down. And I'm singing, I ain't bowing down. I ain't bowing down. And I kept singing that. And all of a sudden I had a revelation. I had epiphany. It was like God said, this is why I put you on this earth. This is what you do. And I'm in a reverie in that moment. And then this girl came and tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, I ain't bowing down. I looked at her, and when I turned back, I sang like I never sang before. From that moment, March 7th, 1970, on a Saturday night, closing night, to this day right here, I've been on assignment.
Wow.
So my North Star has been clear for me.
Wow.
You understand?
I was born 1 week later. I just want you to know, on that next Saturday.
Oh, you Pisces. All right. All right.
This has been wonderful. I'm so excited that we had a chance to speak with you and really get to know you on a different level. This has been wonderful.
Mr. Lawson, like she said, this has been an honor. I've been obviously watching and learning from you for many, many years. You just didn't know it, but I've picked up a lot from you and just watching your career. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in Aftershock, the Nicole P. Story. And I want to encourage everyone to get a ticket.
Get a ticket.
Get 2 tickets.
Get 2 tickets.
Get 2 tickets. And also buy my audiobook and subscribe to my Substack channel.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
My audiobook, richardlawsonbooks.com.
And tell us where we can find you on social media. What are your names and everything?
At Mr. Richard Lawson.
Richard Lawson.
Lawson. Lawson.
Like they say it in Brown Sugar. Richard Lawson. I
Yes.
can't stop thinking of you when I see that. I love it.
Wait. Do I need to leave the screen for a minute?
I love it.
Hey, listen, if it's gonna be immortalized, I'll be immortalized. I just want to leave y'all with this. You can't keep it unless you give it away.
My God, today. Thank you, Mr. Lawson.
We're gonna leave it on with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was very powerful, beautiful, and make sure you guys are watching. Make sure you're watching because we have a class to take tomorrow, don't we? We have another class.
You got it. No, you got the classes next week. I think
Next Thursday.
Yeah, what they send in is a copy of what they already created, so you get a little smaller, compact version of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys are missing on something great. You could have jumped on. You could have got the you didn't have to pay the whole thing up front. But we'll talk about that later.
I'll meet you at the top, sir.
Yes, sir. Looking forward. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for doing the show. We'll see you guys on our next show. And I can't tell you who it's going to be, but I don't know if they're going to top this man right here. With that,
I enjoyed this. Thank you so much.
I appreciate everyone coming in. And until next time. Good night.
Byron Show.
All right.
Welcome to the mic, it's the Dennis Byron Show. Breaking headlines, truth in every flow. From courtroom seats to exclusive shots. Journalism raw, yeah, Byron calls the shots. Subscribe, stay woke, now let's get in the know. It's the Dennis Byron Show. 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 Dennis Byron Show. The Dennis Byron Show. Dennis Byron Show.
It's crazy. You give somebody peace, but peace don't always move to the same rhythm they chasing. Sometimes love ain't loud enough.
We used to ride through the city lights, talk dreams to the morning sky. You said forever like a lullaby, but forever turned to goodbye. Now you paint your face with new beliefs, chanting songs that don't include me. I watch you drift like smoke in the breeze, to a drum beat I can't compete. Yeah, she chose to try, left my heart outside. I gave her peace, but she wanted the vibe. Now I'm sitting here with the echoes of life. She chose to try, she chose to try. I saw your shadow on another man's wall. You look free, but you look small. You traded love for the masquerade, a different truth for the part you played. I built a temple with your name in stone. You burned sage and said you had grown, but baby, peace don't come from leaving home. It comes from facing what you know. She chose to try, left my heart outside. I gave her peace, but she wanted the vibe. Oh, and I'm sitting here with the echoes of life. She chose to try, yeah, she chose to try. Maybe I was too grounded for your sky, too steady when you needed to fly. You found your rhythm in a foreign song, but it don't mean I was wrong. If love's a dance, we missed the cue. I stepped close, but you withdrew. Now I toast to what we couldn't do, and let your spirit move where it wants to. She chose to